Welcome to another Fantasy Game Plan. I'm Ronaldo Wynn. You got the Pernski right here. Also, my man Joey D. And we can't forget the director, as usual. We're starting off with the Redskin report.
No, we're starting off with the 6 fingers I'm holding up, which refers to the 6-1 that my team is. I just thought I'd mention that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Who's that one against again?
The director, huh?
All right.
So you started off, since you started off 6-1, start off the Redskin report.
The Redskins report, let me tell you, I'm a little bit giddy. You know, I did say we talked a little bit about this being a shootout. It was indeed a shootout. Pretty excited about it. I think RG3's back. I think their offense looked outstanding. Alfred Morris owners probably a little discouraged, as we talked a lot about Roy Halou, who scored 3 touchdowns. The Redskins look good. They get the ultimate test this weekend in Denver. You know, I don't know how crazy I'm going to get in picking a win, although I will say they've got a little bit of breath of hope that I maybe didn't think they had for last week. I like their chances.
Is it wrong for me, being a Redskin, to pick against the Redskins on this one?
Kind of.
Yeah, so I'm going with the Redskins.
It kind of is. The over-under's big on that one, but you're going to have some fantasy points. Definitely start all your Broncos.
For me, it's not an easy. I'll pick Denver, but there's going to be a lot of fantasy points to be had. You got Alfred Morris, you got Halou, you got all the Denver guys. You've got RG3, who looks good. Denver's not used to an RG3. They're not going to be used to it. He's got a cannon. A lot of points to be had. Start all your Redskins.
And like I said, D'Angelo Hall's been doing an outstanding job. Did a great job against Brandon Marshall. I think Des Bryant, obviously he's going to get his. I think as long as D'Angelo's on him, look to some of those secondary.
6-1 here says Des Bryant. Yeah. He's thinking Cowboys, but I think he's talking about Demaryius Thomas.
There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got
Pernski's giddy because of his training.
I own Demaryius Thomas, and I think he may have a little bit of a slow game if D'Angelo's on.
Well, let's go with talk about some players. Buy, sell, Rob Gronkowski after 1 game.
17 targets, you got to buy this guy. The more targets, the more opportunity. The guy looked really good. Got a lot of hits on that forearm. I'm buying him all day long.
Yeah, last week we told you to sell all your Patriots. I still don't like them, but I got to admit, you're going to have to pay out the nose for him. You can get Gronk for a good price. He's definitely going to get his targets.
I'm buying Gronk. That's an easy one.
How about AP?
APZ.
Or AD, or whatever you want to call him.
All right, that's your guy, the director's guy. You know what? I think at the end of the day, he's who he is, a great player. You got to buy him. Keep him on your roster. I know it's been tough down there, but you got to buy him.
I hate to say this, I'm not sure. I might be in the hold category. I might sell AP right now if I could get the moon for him. I mean, the last 2 games, 1 game doesn't worry me. 2 games, I officially start to get a little queasy. If he has another slow game, I'm panicking on AP, and you may not get as much for him. If you can get a sweet deal for Adrian Peterson, I might sell him right now.
I'm still buying Adrian Peterson. Freeman got a concussion. He's out for this game. Ponder's back in. Ponder's a lot better option than Freeman. Ponder lit up Green Bay last year for 3 touchdowns. So I'm still buying AP. It's Adrian Peterson.
No, he's a stud.
The Giants did make him look silly, though. So, but you know what's funny, Gurus? It's funny how the director keeps putting players on here that he has on his fantasy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Looking for buying and selling.
He'll be selling them to us.
One player. RG3.
I'm buying RG3. I'm an RG3 owner in my Washington League, starting him this week with luck on buy, and maybe starting him from here on out. He looked like the old RG3. He started running. He was quick. Got to the outside fast. He had that little flick. Man, I was excited to watch RG3. And against Denver, if I can buy him this week and put him in my lineup, man, be all over that.
Yeah, he got 35 points, fantasy points. So, this, again, is going to be a high-scoring game. You got to buy him.
Number 10.
I'm buying RG3 as well. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league.
How about Knowshon Mareno?
Gotta love the Jersey boy, Knowshon Mareno scoring. He's got 8 touchdowns on the year. He was picked up on waivers. I don't think he was even drafted this year. I could be wrong, but 8 touchdowns. The offense is humming. There's plenty of holes for him to run through. Buying him all day long.
Buy him this week if you can and get him in your lineup against the Skins. I hate to say that.
Well, I speak personally because I got him and I'm starting him, so you definitely got to buy him.
8 touchdowns.
Get that out of here. 6-1.
Did you pick him up off waivers?
I did. There you go.
Arian Foster.
Well, let's just talk to the man that just bought Arian Foster about an hour ago from none other than Denny Hamlin. I had to package about 5 players, but I am now the proud owner of Arian Foster. Going into a bye week, He's got a little tweaked hamstring, which isn't good for a running back. Whoever owns Arian Foster right now is a little panicked, and if they're in a position like Denny was, where they got to win this week, you might be able to get a good price, as evidenced by me, because the guy needs to win, and he's not going to do him any good in 2 weeks. So if you can buy Arian and you don't have to win this week, take a piece of that.
The classic sharks smelling blood. You got a guy who's 2-5
Stop.
to a guy who's 6-1. It's a good technique because the guy who's 6-1 is he can wait as long as he wants for players to develop. The guy who's 2-5, you panic a little bit. Not saying anybody panicked here. It was a good trade on paper. It fills in a lot of gaps for the guy who's 2-5 who has
Look,
to.
I gave him 5 players to start this
They're all
week.
starting.
It was a
Absolutely.
good trade for him. Arian Foster's going to be my flex, let's just say that, so I'm excited about that.
And whenever you get Arian Foster and have a chance to get him, you got to buy him.
And we've got Jacksonville 2 out of 3 weeks coming up. It's Christmas morning. Team Pernski.
I didn't
Seafood
notice that.
buffet.
Yeah.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Pern. Whatever helps you sleep at night. A lot of teams on a bye this week. What's a quarterback that someone can pick up off waivers this week to fill in?
Well, I did it in my league with NASCAR. I picked up Carson Palmer, playing one of the worst pass defenses in the league, Atlanta. I think he's with Fitzgerald, Andre Roberts, this Ellington kid out of the backfield. Mendenhall actually ran good last week. I think Palmer can give you 2, maybe 3 touchdowns this week.
How about Ponder? Would you take a flyer on him? He's playing for his job. He's playing Green Bay, like you said. He lit him up. Do you throw Ponder in there if you're desperate?
If you're desperate, if you're desperate, you got it. I mean, Flacco's on bye.
How about
all these guys are on
if
bye.
Alex Smith and Ponder are available? Who do you take? Alex Smith against Cleveland's got a pretty stout defense.
Yeah, Joe Hayden there. I mean, Cleveland will lose that game, but it'll be like a 17-10 game.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Big
You want
game
high
for
scoring.
Charles, by the way.
Another guy, would you take Josh McCown, the guy that's kind of stepped in, did pretty well for the Chicago Bears?
Again, they're on bye this week, but McCown slung it around
He
in
did.
2 quarters through 200 yards.
Looked pretty good. Looked
And all-
pretty good.
But again, on bye, but the Kasem for Houston.
Great DJ. Great DJ.
DJ
You really
back
enjoy
in
his
the day.
work.
That kid looked good as he was slinging the ball all over the place.
Yep.
All right, let's go through a couple games. Let's go Dallas at Detroit.
Said Detroit. I don't know. I'm going with Detroit. They're playing at home. I think they're on fire for Stafford. I got to go with Detroit.
I tell you, my head tells me Dallas. I can't bring myself to do it. I'm on the fence, so I'm going to go with Detroit just so I can root for them, but I like Detroit at home.
I like Detroit too, not because it's Dallas and we all,
Hate
it's
'em.
Dallas, but look for a cheap shot from Sue in this game. Look for the
Romo
Calvin
may-
Johnson
Romo
versus
may
Des
cry in
Bryant
this game.
thing. Romo might cry this game. Also look for, you fantasy guys want a little sleeper, look for Cole Beasley sighting. This kid's turned into a Wes Welker of
Picked him up in my
of the Dallas Cowboys.
Cole
So
Beasley.
you're in a PPR league, keep Cole Beasley on the radar.
All right, how about Miami at New England?
This is New England at home. New England doesn't lose 2 games in a row. Would love nothing more than for them to lose, but this is going to be New England and maybe big.
Yeah, I agree. New England. Belichick just finds a way to win, and I think he's going to win against a division foe.
I agree, New England also, and Amendola might be back. He practiced today. Gronk's back. Ridley's running well. New England.
NFC East matchup. You got Philly at home versus the Giants.
Oof. Let's start with our Giants jerk.
Giants are on a roll. Giants looked like a JV team the other night, but they got to win on Monday night. Got to think ex-player, it's a confidence boost.
Yep.
I think Knicks needs to start waking up. This Michael Cox, Peyton Hillis, Brandon Jacobs tandem.
Yeah.
Hillis got 84 yards the other day. It looked like garbage,
Did he?
but it was 84 yards.
Wow.
So I'm taking the Giants. I got to pick I got to pick Big Blue.
I have to agree. You got Vic coming back. He may be gimpy. I'm not sure what to expect from him. And the Giants got off the schneid. They're going to get on a roll. They know that, hey, they're still alive in the NFC East. There's hope. Coughlин's got them running around. I think the Giants win this one in Philly, and maybe a few arrests made in the old Philly gym.
I like it. I got to go with the OG men as well. I think they're going to go pull 2-0.
Yeah.
Look, 10-6, right around the corner for the G-men.
Let me just tell you right
Won the
there.
Super Bowl 9-7 a few years ago.
How about the New York Jets at Cincinnati?
This is a fun game. I'm starting to like this Geno. I'm starting to like this Geno Smith.
I
kid.
agree.
Geno Smith is extending the play like Roethlisberger does, but with more speed. This kid's got energy. He's attached to Jeremy Curley. They ran the ball like crazy with Ivory looked good. I'm picking Cincinnati because there's too many
You
weapons.
say all that to pick
I
Cincinnati?
say
huh?
pick Cincinnati. A.J. Green, this Marvin Jones looks good. Gio Bernard, Dalton, their defense is better. I'm picking
I was hoping to
Cincinnati.
go against you because I'm picking Cincinnati. Don't look now, but Andy Dalton's slinging the ball all over the place. His stats the last 3 weeks going like this. He's connecting with his receivers. Jermaine Gresham, the tight end, may have a big game here. Normally, there's not a ton of fireworks when it's the Jets. The Jets Cincinnati just feels like a low-scoring game.
Yep.
Vegas agrees, 41-point over/under. I like Cincinnati to win it. I like a pound it out. If you've got a running back on either of those teams, stick them in your lineup.
Yeah, I got to go with Cincinnati as well. I mean, they're clicking on all cylinders. You know, offense, defense, special teams. Yeah, Cincinnati.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Green Bay at Minnesota.
Skip it. It's not even a question. Green Bay, this Lacey guy, I
talking about him
wasn't a
all year,
Lacey
yeah.
believer. This Lacey kid is for real. I love him. This Boykin kid who's filling in
Yeah.
for James Jones and
Yep.
Cobb looks really good. Minnesota is a mess. They're starting Ponder again. They've started 9 quarterbacks.
Which is the right
last
guy to
3 years.
start. That
Ponder is the right guy to start for sure.
That was that was atrocious. Anyone who saw Josh Freeman couldn't hit the
I could have had
side
more
of the bar.
completions
That
last
was
night.
that was
Monday night.
awful.
I could have completed the ball.
I think the
Give
only
the guy a
people
break. He's
happy,
only been there a week.
I think the only people happier than the Minnesota fans that Ponder's back are the Minnesota receivers because they actually have a chance to make some catches this week. But yeah, that game's going to be a blowout. Kudos to the Green Bay front office because they just keep they keep sticking guys in there that you've never heard of. Glad to hear Jermichael Finley's looking like he's going to be
Yeah,
better.
Perez was
That was a tough hit last week. But yeah, I like the Packers big in that game.
Yeah, I'm on that too. Packers win.
Keep those tight ends that are filling in for Finley on the radar screen. I think it's Bostic and Quarles.
Good job. All right, well, hey, that would be another segment for our fantasy game plan. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to make sure you tweet any questions you may have at Pernski, at JoeyDNC.
Hey, should I change my Twitter to @7and1.com? That might be
At tradeburglar.com.
We'll see you next week, bud.